What is good? Osiris here, stuck in the middle. The largest autocracy on earth. Facebook is acting like a hostile foreign power. It's time we treated it that way. By Adrienne LaFrance. This article is one of the best, most well written articles I've read in quite some time. Much respect, much props to Adrienne LaFrance. I want to just do a couple pieces from this. I'm going to put a link in the description. You have to read this on your own. It's so good. I usually clip pieces from articles. I could literally read the whole thing. It's just too long. I'll start here. This summer, the population of Zuckerberg's supranational regime reached 2.9 billion monthly active users, more humans than live in the world's two most populous nations, China and India combined. To Zuckerberg, Facebook's founder and CEO, they are citizens of Facebook land. Long ago, he conspicuously started calling them people instead of users, but they are still cogs in an immense social matrix, fleshy morsels of data to satisfy the advertisers that poured 54 billion into Facebook in the first half of 2021 alone, a sum that surpassed the gross domestic products of most nations on earth. I'm going to finish this paragraph, then comment. The GDP here makes for a telling comparison, not just because it gestures at Facebook's extraordinary power, but because it helps us see Facebook for what it really is. Facebook is not merely a website or a platform or a publisher or a social network or an online directory or a corporation or a utility. It's all of these things. But Facebook is also effectively a hostile foreign power. I'm going to stop here. Whew. Tell me where she's wrong. This is testing the establishment. I don't know what's going on with the Atlantic. Did they just get sold? I don't know. I have to look that up. Let me know if you know. But this is the second article from the Atlantic within a couple months that I'm pointing out. And this is old school journalism. This is testing the establishment right directly at them in a neutral fashion from the standpoint of a common person, basically. This thing has become its own nation. Not it's bigger than the US. This thing has engulfed the whole world. And then we're just talking about Facebook. What if you put in Google and you put in Twitter, you've got pretty much 100% of the world. I have to read this paragraph about Hillary Clinton. When Hillary Clinton is impressed with your power, you have done something. Hillary Clinton told me last year, that told Adrienne LaFrance last year, that she'd always caught a whiff of authoritarianism from Zuckerberg. For some reason, that paragraph is bringing up the imagery of Hillary Clinton like, what's that smell? I smell power. Like she can, it's something that maybe only certain people can smell. I feel like you're negotiating with a foreign power sometimes, she said. He's immensely powerful. One of his early mantras at Facebook, according to Shira Frankel and Cecilia Kang in their book An Ugly Truth Inside Facebook's Battle for Domination, was company over country. When that company has all the power of a country itself, the line takes on a darker meaning. I'm still taking it back. Hillary Clinton is, almost sounded a little fearful of the power. What I think we're seeing is governments thinking the power that Facebook has is great. We just need to control it. We just need to threaten them. That's why Joe Biden crossed the line a little bit. Jen Psaki crossed the line a little bit earlier this year. I'll link some videos up above. I kind of talked about that because they're like, Facebook, we're going to destroy you if you don't do what we need, allegedly, in my interpretation, if you don't do what we need you to do. You're powerful, but you're only something that we're okay with as long as you work with us. This idiocracy take where people say, well, Facebook's a private business, they can censor people. They took 2.9 billion monthly active users who used to be people out in the world, and now they're online. That's their community, that's their country, those are their citizens. Don't tell me that we should govern them like they're the local barber shop or boutique or nail salon. They're not a local pizza establishment. They're not even a chain establishment. They are a nation. It's time to stop with the foolishness. We're not going to govern them like they're Kroger. Stop it. This is a power that the government thinks that they can hold on to and control. They're playing a dangerous game. I continue. The basic components of a nationhood go something like this. You need land, currency, a philosophy of governance, and people. Their land is online. They've got that. She goes on to write, when you're an imperialist in the metaverse, you need not worry so much about physical acreage. No, because you've already got them all up on there. Though Zuckerberg does own 1,300 acres in Kauai, she digresses. As for the rest of the items on the list, currency, philosophy of governance, and people, they've got them all. Well, Facebook's developing their own money. This is not new. A blockchain-based payment system known as Diem, formerly Libra, that financial regulators and banks have feared could throw off the global economy and decimate the dollar. Financial regulators and banks are scared of Facebook. They can't even find this company. They've got so much money. Fines don't even mean anything. One of the craziest things that we've ever seen from a private company, is that they set up their own separation of powers, copying the judicial branch, executive, and legislative that we have in real life, the founding of our country. They've got their own, paid for, paid by them. So it's just for a facade. It's a fake exterior to avoid criticism. And she talks about it, pretending to outsource his most consequential decisions. He took off a sitting U.S. president. That's too much power. A president who didn't break any laws, wasn't removed from office. That's too much power. And how did they kind of usurp or kind of put on the facade like they're good? They created this fake judiciary branch, this fake Supreme Court called the Oversight Board. The board makes difficult calls on thorny issues having to do with content moderation. In May, it handed down the decision to uphold Facebook's suspension of Donald Trump, one of the most disgusting things we've ever seen in the history of our country. This has nothing to do with whether you agree with Donald Trump or not. If you're out here thinking about whether you agree with Donald Trump in this context of this video and this article, you are lost. Take some time, do some research, and come back. You're behind. They banned a president, an active president. Facebook says that the board's members are independent, but it hires them and pays them. Stop playing games with us. I did not know this piece. Now, according to the New York Times, Facebook is considering forming a kind of legislative body, wait for it, a commission that could make decisions on elections related matters, political bias, political advertising, foreign interference. This would further divert scrutiny from Facebook leadership. Facebook has their own agenda. They are their own country, as Adrienne is writing here, that I 100% agree with. For whatever reason, I never thought of them like that. They're just their own virtual country. That means your own country, you have your own goals. You don't care about the democracy of America. You are your own entity, global. You are global. You're your own world, not even a country. You're bigger than a country. You're orbiting. Facebook should be orbiting the sun. It's just virtual, but it should be a different planet orbiting the sun. And they're talking about a different branch, a legislative. Damn it, we have a legislative branch. Stop this immediately. This article is going straight at the establishment. This is unbelievable stuff. I'm going to end with how she ended. It's so good, I can't read it all. Facebook users are the group with the most power to demand change. Facebook would be nothing without their attention. American citizens and those of other democracies might shun Facebook and Instagram. Facebook owns Instagram, of course, not merely as a lifestyle choice, but as a matter of civic duty. She is calling. She didn't even need to say bipartisan. She didn't talk about race. She didn't talk about hating Trump or anything like that. She said American citizens, as a civic duty, might need to do this or might stop using Facebook. But the reality is, could enough people come together to bring down the empire? Probably not. Even if Facebook lost 1 billion users, it would have another 2 billion left. But we need to recognize the danger we're in. We need to shake the notion that Facebook is a normal company or that its hegemony is inevitable. Perhaps someday the world will congregate as one in peace, as Einstein dreamed, indivisible by the forces that have launched wars and collapsed civilizations since antiquity. But if that happens, if we can save ourselves, it certainly won't be because of Facebook. It will be in spite of it.
Let your present pain make you forget about your future purpose. Can I say it this way? Your current situation is not in charge of your future destination. Get your hopes up. Start believing. Start expecting. Expectation means to live life with an anticipation that I'm believing.
I'm grateful for Black Pegasus. I found his channel out probably, I don't know, maybe 8 months ago, maybe a year ago even. Good stuff has come from the pandemic. I probably would have never found out about Black Pegasus if it weren't for the pandemic. Props to him. He did a dope song, which is take on Ghetto Boys' Mind Playing Tricks on Me. I think it fits the channel. I think you will enjoy it. Thanks a lot for listening. Let me know what you think about this article. You've got to read this. Take care.
Smooth. At night I can't sleep, I toss and turn. Mostly peaceful protests, now our city's being burned. CNN just staring at a nigga. All COVID and climate change, go figure. NBC always stressing I ain't living right, but I ain't taking Pfizer for a flight. Got COVID when exposed, body ache sweating, and a runny nose. It's a lab leak from all of the stats. The media told us watch out for bats. Project Veritas undercover, and they expose fake news motherfuckers. Chris Cuomo and Don Lemon. My favorite clips is when they getting owned. Some might say take a chill beat, but fuck that shit. CNN's more than guilty. They pumping fear every time the wind blows. They pushing shutdowns to all you bimbos. I protest mandating the vax. I protest mandating the mask. In the lab is where they made the Rona. It's fucked up, CNN playing tricks on ya. I make big money, viruses in jars, everybody knows me. I made COVID SARS, but late that night, something ain't right. I started feeling sick, did that protein spike? Is it that fool that didn't wear a smock? Or was it that beaker we refused to swap? Or is it that time I didn't take a shower? Thought I was clean, but had something on my trousers. 105 fever, thermometer to rupture. Ain't no use to lie, I was scared than a motherfucker. Fauci on my line, had to bury that quick. Tell a good lie, so we can get this over with. It ain't come, just like I figured. I said it was a bat, someone ate for dinner. But what I saw, make you start tripping. It's part of the plan, so freedom starts stripping. I was told, never ever mention shit. Use social media, increase censorship. Can't believe I got away making the Rona. That's how it goes. Social media playing tricks on ya. You see what they did to Joe Rogan with CNN? Talking about that Ivor blank blank, you know, the horse dewormer. Yeah, man, MSNBC, social media censorship. Man, it's crazy. They only want to push their narrative, their agenda. CNN playing tricks on you, baby. Social media playing tricks on you. Wake up, man. You gotta see what they doing, man. It's the Covey boys. CNN playing tricks on you.